Subscribe.
From its opening moments, Dio's Don't Talk to Strangers feels like a song built entirely from warnings. Warnings about strangers, warnings about dreams, warnings about beauty, warnings about trust.
Don't talk to strangers, 'cause they're only there to do you harm.
At first, the song sounds like a cautionary tale, a voice trying to protect us from danger. But psychologically, something more complicated may be happening, because the voice in the song doesn't simply warn against specific threats. It warns against almost everything: connection, wonder, curiosity, trust.
Don't write in starlight, 'cause the words may come out real.
And that raises an interesting question. What happens when fear becomes the primary way a person navigates the world? One way of understanding these opening verses is through a psychological lens. Another is through a Buddhist one. In Buddhism, suffering often emerges when we become trapped by attachment, fear, and our attempts to create certainty in an uncertain world. Everything changes. Relationships change. Circumstances change. Identity changes. Nothing remains fixed forever. The Buddha taught that much of human suffering comes from resisting this reality. We want certainty where there is uncertainty, permanence where there is impermanence, control where life remains unpredictable. But fear often responds to uncertainty by demanding absolute safety, absolute control, absolute predictability. And the voice in the song seems desperate for certainty. Everything carries a warning. Every doorway hides a risk.
Don't hide in doorways. You may find a key that opens up your soul. Don't go to heaven, 'cause it's really only hell.
Every dream contains a threat. Every possibility feels dangerous. Psychologically, that can happen when the nervous system learns that danger is always nearby. The world begins to feel less like a place to explore and more like a place to survive. As I listen to this song, I sometimes think about my tween and teen patients navigating life after difficult experiences. Not every patient who has experienced trauma becomes fearful, but many become cautious, watchful, always assessing. They learn to scan rooms before they enter them, read facial expressions, monitor tone of voice, notice subtle shifts in mood, skills that may have once helped them to stay emotionally safe. The world becomes a series of calculations. Who can I trust? What could go wrong? What am I missing?
Don't smell the flowers. They're an evil drug to make you lose your mind. Don't dream of women, 'cause they'll only bring you down.
The goal is protection, but protection can sometimes become a prison. What makes Dio's Don't Talk to Strangers psychologically fascinating is that the warnings never seem to end. Ronnie James Dio's voice keeps expanding the list of dangers. Don't trust this. Don't trust that. Don't go there. Don't fear that.
Don't talk. Don't let 'em inside your mind, yeah. Run away, go.
And fear often works exactly this way. When fear becomes our primary guide, it rarely settles for one concern. It finds another, and then another, and another, because fear is not actually searching for truth. Fear is searching for certainty. And certainty is something life can never fully provide. Then the song arrives at its most important moment. The entire meaning begins to shift. The voice that has been warning us, protecting us, directing us, suddenly reveals its identity.
Hey you know me, you touch me, I'm real. I'm forever the one that lets you look and see and feel me. I'm danger, I'm the stranger.
The thing we were being warned about is the voice itself. And psychologically, that feels significant, because many people eventually discover that the loudest voice in their inner world is not wisdom, it is fear. Fear speaking with absolute confidence. Fear presenting itself as protection. Fear insisting that isolation is safety. Fear insisting that vulnerability is weakness. Fear insisting that mistrust is intelligence. At first, those messages may feel protective, but eventually they begin restricting life itself. This is something I occasionally see in therapeutic work with my tween and teen patients. Young people who have learned to survive environments that felt emotionally unpredictable. Young people who become self-protective for very understandable reasons. And sometimes that protective stance becomes so familiar that it begins shaping identity itself. The danger has changed, but the alarm system remains active. The result is often loneliness, not because the person wants isolation, but because trust feels more dangerous than distance. Connection becomes difficult. Vulnerability becomes frightening. And the very strategies that once offered protection begin creating new forms of suffering. Trauma often creates protectors inside us, parts of ourselves designed to keep us safe. Stay alert, stay guarded, don't get hurt again. And these protectors are not enemies. They often emerge for very good reasons. But healing sometimes requires recognizing when yesterday's survival strategy has become today's limitation. The voice that once protected us can begin preventing growth, preventing intimacy, preventing trust, preventing life. From a Buddhist perspective, healing is not about pretending danger does not exist. It's about seeing clearly, seeing fear clearly, seeing reality clearly, seeing that all experiences are temporary. Fear arises, fear passes, thoughts arise, thoughts pass, even identities change.
Don't dance in darkness. You may stumble and you're sure to fall. Don't write in starlight, 'cause the words may come out real.
Yet the song's narrator seems unable to tolerate uncertainty. Everything must be controlled. Everything must be predicted. Everything must be feared. But peace rarely emerges from control. Peace often begins when we stop treating every shadow as a threat. I don't think Don't Talk to Strangers is simply a song about danger. I think it can be heard as a song about what happens when fear becomes so convincing that it begins speaking as though it is the self. A voice that starts as protection. A voice that gradually becomes identity. And perhaps that is why the song remains so unsettling, because so many people know that voice, the voice that says, don't trust, don't risk, don't connect, stay guarded, stay hidden, stay safe. But sometimes healing begins when we recognize that the voice warning us about every stranger may itself be the stranger we need to understand. Fear can protect us, but when fear becomes identity, the world grows smaller than it really is. Leave any thoughts in the comment section below. And please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Hello, this is Enrico, licensed creative arts therapist, New York State.